Yes yun mga ka.Kamao, magandang umaga at bilang isang house band ay gagampan muna tayo ng isang gawaing pag re-repair. So very basic lang po ang aking gagawin, my DIY, do it yourself. But bago po yan ay nais kong bigyan kayo ng konting knowledge about how to use this VOM o yung voltometer. So yung voltometer is a usable tools for the technicians and other needed for the purpose of repairing of the appliances and other electronics item. So the very basic use of this a voltometer, if you see the DC volt current and then the AC volt. So usually if want to test the current of a alternating current volt, you must to use this voltometer tester and then to select at the AC. So you can test it it is depend on the voltometer you use. You can test this up to the highest 1000 volts, but in our electrical supplies we have only a 220 volts, but you can put it your selector to the 250 volts. So the very basic to start testing the current, electrical current, if this is working, you can set first to the highest voltage for not to destruct or destroy the voltmeter. So if you test that the current voltage into range 1000 volts, if you see the 10 of the right side, it is equivalent to 1000 volts. So if the 1000 volt is there, so dapat nandito lamang ang 220 volts mo. So after you tested the current supply of 220 volts, so you can range to be sure to 250 volts for the AC current. Okay, and then if you want to test your battery direct current volts, you can set the selector to the DC volt selector. So we have a 10 volts, 50 volts, 250 volts and 1000 volts. Usually if we use the 3AA battery, it is only a 1.5. So you can raise to 10 volts, and then the 10 volts you can read it if the pointer deflect to the middle of the in between of 1 and 2 for the 10 volts. Yan, 1 or 2 for the 10 volts. Yan, in between of the 1.2 if the battery is 1.5. So the direct current we test is having a polarity sign. The polarity sign is plus minus. It means plus positive, minus means negative. So that is the example how to test the battery using the voltmeter test. If you want to test the resistance or the continuity of the AC plug, you can set the selector to the resistance, the R times 1. This section is the resistance testing or ohm testing. Usually this section, a portion of this voltmeter is used for the test of the resistor, capacitor, transistor, and other thing na there is a resistance, and even the continuity. Example, if the wire is open, when you set to the R times 1, and then you put the test rod to the end, the both end point of the wire. If the wire is open, the resistor is cannot be, the voltmeter cannot be deflect to the right. If the wire is not open and put the tip of the test rod to the end point of the wire, put this negative positive test rod, but this is have no polarity, only testing for the continuity. If the wire is not open, the pointers can deflect at the full deflection to the right. So it means the wire is not open. Okay, this is the very basic how to use the voltmeter tester. And then if the resistor is a 10 ohms, you can test at R times 1, or you can test at the selector of R times 10. If the resistor is more than 100, you can test at the times 100. If the resistor is more than to 1K or less than K, you can test it the R times 1K. If the resistor is more than or less or 10K, you can test at the 10K. So when you use this voltmeter, it is very simple equipment tools to measure all things related to the electronics and electricity. Okay, mga ka.Kamao, yan lang muna ang aking sample how to use the voltmeter tester.